A good strategy game is ultimately one about choice. Which units to create, where to allocate resources, which strategies to implement. The right decisions lead to victory, while the wrong ones force you to adapt or adjust, or else suffer bitter defeat. These moments are common in Minecraft Legends, Mojang and Blackbird Interactive's simplified take on an action RTS. It doesn't always do a perfect job opening the door of this often intimidating genre to a wider audience, but the way it largely manages to streamline things without losing most of the important tactical moments is what makes Minecraft Legends work. Simplicity is one of Minecraft Legends' strengths. Evil piglins from the Nether are invading, because that's what evil piglins do, and it's your job to build up the forces needed to drive them back. You'll do that by uncovering resources, allies, and secrets, while destroying piglin bases and defending friendly settlements as you do. There are no levels, and the minimalistic story is mostly just cutscenes announcing the arrival of larger piglin forces. Once you've cleared all the piglins out, victory is yours, and you can start another run from scratch on a brand new procedurally generated map. Minecraft's iconic blocky style is extremely well implemented here. The entire world looks like it was pulled straight from the main Minecraft series, but it all looks great thanks to a vibrant color palette and some excellent lighting. As is Minecraft tradition, nights bring added danger from aggressive enemies, but it's hard to dread their arrival when it's preceded by gorgeous sunsets over stunning vistas. Unlike StarCraft or Command & Conquer, where you occupy the seat of some far-off overseer commanding a complex legion of forces, Legends puts you directly on the battlefield. You're given control of a warrior fighting alongside a small squad of summonable units, each with a very clear niche they fill. Cobblestone golems have a lot of health but aren't great at dealing damage quickly. Mossy golems heal, and so on. The commands you give your soldiers tend to boil down to go kill things over there or follow me, but the fact that it's so straightforward is great. It makes it easy to jump right into the action without a steep learning curve or thick manual to memorize. There are some drawbacks to that simplicity, however. Most notably, there's no way to create custom groups of mixed troops, which cuts down on your strategic options a little. It would have been great to use a squad of skeleton archers protected by damaged spongy zombies mixed with healing units as a counter to the massive flail-wielding portal guards, but that level of fine control isn't really feasible, and that's a shame. Fortunately, the fact that you participate directly in battles brings with it a chance to make some clever choices. As the hero, you are significantly more powerful than any individual soldier in your army, always mounted and armed with a sword that swings in wide arcs. This opens up opportunities to do things like create swarms of cobblestone golems for an invasion, then tell them to focus on destroying buildings while you protect them, or send units to guard one side of a friendly settlement while you cover the other. It's the kind of mental push and pull that makes strategy games so much fun. This wouldn't be a Minecraft game without gathering resources and building, and that's translated in a slick and intuitive way. There are always small fairy-like creatures that assist with these tasks. One type focuses on resource gathering, letting you point them at a grove of trees or a quarry filled with ore to strip the resources completely independently, while the other carries out building instructions, quickly assembling structures like golem spawners or arrow towers, provided the resources are available. It's an exceptionally easy system to use that works in a very natural way, letting you go from idea to construction with just 2 button presses. The piglins themselves don't sit on their hooves waiting for you to build up armies to come smash them either. They produce bases and outposts of their own with increasing complexity as time goes on. What begins as some quick pillaging of a few buildings at the start eventually becomes long sieges of intricate fortresses that can take multiple in-game days. At night, the piglins will invade friendly settlements, and whether you press your offensive advantage or turn your attention toward defending vulnerable areas elsewhere is a constant mental struggle that creates a nice sense of tension. The independent operation of your allies feeds into the strategy elements of combat in interesting ways too. You can set one group of allies to build walls and another to harvest the necessary wood while you fight in a powerful bit of multitasking. But piglins will go out of their way to target the fragile allies, keeping this mid-battle backup from being too overpowered. A structure called the Well of Fates acts as your primary home base. This is where you start, the default respawn location when you die, and where you do most of your upgrading. Destroyed piglin structures drop prismarine, which is used to build upgrade structures that allow you to do things like command more troops or store more materials. There's a limited number of places these can be built, forcing hard choices about whether to increase the size of your army, open up opportunities to mine specialty ores like coal and redstone, or add more allies to expedite resource gathering. Unfortunately, the last few hours of a playthrough can slow to a crawl as enemies with massive amounts of health join the fray, like these massively armored pigmadillos. It's great that enemies with unique designs and attacks still continue to show up, but the size of the armies they fill becomes a slog. This is an even bigger problem when attacking an enemy base on a high plateau. Assembling an attack force only to realize half of them fell off a cliff on the march up due to suspect pathfinding is frustrating. Legends loses some of its potential as an onboarding opportunity for the strategy genre because of these endgame struggles. Fortunately, good construction options can mitigate some of those pain points. Siege tools like the Redstone Launcher, which acts somewhat like a long-range cannon fixture, can help clear a landing point, and crafting bridges or stairs to cross gaps and ascend hills is a snap. The Cure Netherrack ability that slowly transforms the corrupted ground under piglin bases is a standout difference maker too, allowing the assembly of buildings and golem spawners inside enemy territory. These are fun ways to turn the tide, but it can be a little uncharacteristically daunting that making the most of every single tool in your belt feels like the only viable option to clear the highest level outposts. Minecraft Legends is fun solo, but it excels in multiplayer. An entire campaign can be played in co-op with up to 3 other friends, where resources are split but everyone has full autonomy to act independently. Dividing tasks like resource gathering, base building, and combat alleviates many frustrations, and it's just a lot of fun to charge into battle with your allies. It's the best way to play, and sharing the elation of victory with friends doesn't get old. PvP, meanwhile, has an interesting wrinkle to it. 2 teams go head-to-head with players on each team controlling a hero while sharing resources and golems. One game, my team worked to destroy piglin bases early so we could afford upgrades quickly, focusing on making the most powerful army possible before clashing with other humans. Another game, we were wiped out when our opponents stealthily built a redstone launcher within range of our base, focusing almost entirely on defending that while it crushed our structures. The strategic elements that other humans can bring are much more interesting than facing the CPU. Minecraft Legends is an engaging strategy game that does a great job streamlining a notoriously complex genre without sacrificing the ever-important element of choice and consequence. That said, some genre staples like assigning custom groups of units are casualties of this simplification, which is too bad because it does limit your strategic options a bit in the heat of battle. But Legends uses other recognizable elements like its worker ant allies to great effect, and it nails the iconic Minecraft aesthetic with some of the best looking blocks around. The difficulty curve does have the potential to make the late game frustrating, but stellar cooperative and PvP play still make this RTS very worthwhile. For more, check out our reviews of Bayonetta Origins and Company of Heroes 3, and for everything gaming, stick with IGN.